Cool.
Hey, Raphael, how are you?
Good. How are you? Thank you for having me on here. Wow. I love that
Absolutely.
intro, like the video. It's so exciting. And then the theme music
Yeah,
and
we we
everything.
we 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 tried to give it some production value as we just created some like movie magic
Wow.
maker, whatever. We tried to do something cool. That's what I tried to do,
Yeah.
and I love it that you think it's at least
Oh, it's
it
fantastic.
gives some extra to it, right? I mean,
Yeah.
if you're watching a stream for 24 hours and it's just two people talking on some slides and some, like every once in a while having a movie or somebody talking to you,
Yep.
and it saves me that I can catch your breath or take a sip of
Oh
coffee every
yeah.
now and then.
Or
That's
get your food maybe. Like
yeah. I hope my food is over there, so I will catch it in. And I see that my other colleague, the other Brian Clark is already happy as in he's
I
shouting out
am
in the in, in
Tokyo.
the in the in the in the chat that you're on. Hey Brian,
Cool.
good to have you here. I will probably put you on screen a few times because you had amazing videos.
Ooh.
Anyway, you will tell something about
Mhm.
SSL, right?
Yeah, so today I'm actually going to show all of you how to set up an SSL certificate for free on a Node.js project. So I wrote a library called Web,
Mhm.
and then decided, oh, like it's easy to set up a Node.js like as a server, but then like getting everything to set it up with HTTPS so that you get secure connections and have like the this website connection is valid and secure like that.
Yep.
That's a little bit of a complex step sometimes. And so I made a separate library that's built on top of it called Web is with an S because it's like HTTP and HTTPS.
Love it.
And so
Love
I'm
it.
going to show you how to use it. Yeah,
Absolutely. Well, whatever you want to show, if you share your screen, I
cool.
can pop it up, and I leave it to you.
Awesome. All right. So here is my screen. Can everyone see it?
Not yet, but they can
They
see it now.
okay. Cool. So this is the original library that I was talking about. This is like I wanted an Express.js kind of library, but much more lightweight and super easy to just get started and be like, all right, I need a web server up and running so that I can work on projects on stream and just like put an HTML file on there and just have it serve, right? So that was the idea for Web. And so that's like no dependencies or anything. And so the way it works is you just have like 3 lines of code that says, hey, run it on this port. You can create APIs, or if you put like HTML files or JavaScript files or whatever into like a public folder or a web folder, then it automatically knows to serve those files as like a static thing. And so in here, I don't know if everyone's really familiar with actually creating like retrieving an SSL certificate. So there's let's see, there's a thing called Let's Encrypt, which is let's see, Let's Encrypt is Let's Encrypt.org is a nonprofit organization that lets people secure their websites by having a free SSL certificate, and they act as the certificate authority, and so it's much easier because before you would have to pay for an SSL certificate, and so a lot of these websites would be like, well, I just need a small like web server up and running, and I don't really need to set up an SSL certificate. It doesn't need to be secure, and so Let's Encrypt has done a lot to help us with that. And so what I want to show you is this other library that's built on top of Web that makes it super easy for you to not have to like install other libraries or anything else, but just say, hey, this is the domain that I created for my server. I want to get an SSL certificate. And because the Let's Encrypt certificates only last 90 days, I want it to auto renew. And sometimes that's really complicated. You have to like set up a cron task or like have it scheduled and say, hey, restart my Apache server every 90 days or whatever you want to do. But it'd be much nicer if it was like zero downtime, did it on the back end and said, hey, here's the new certificate. And so this is Webs. I don't know if it's possible to copy, like share the GitHub link, but you can find it pretty easily. It's just called Webs. And so what we're going to do here is I set up a Lightsail instance. This is just like a cloud instance that has a server and it's got his IP address. And so I actually kind of like preset it up with my DNS. This is like, I think I have it as sneak test.instafluff.tv points to the server. And so And so what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new directory, and this is basically, if you just follow this is how it'll work. So let's call it sneak test, or maybe demo test. Okay, secure everything. All right, and then we're gonna go into here, and so now you can see like this isn't entirely like. Can everyone read the screen? I think the font is big enough. If it's not, just let me know, and then I'll make it bigger.
I think
But
everybody can read it. I mean,
okay,
I can read it, and
okay.
I don't even have it for full
Ah.
screen. So you're doing
Oh,
great.
perfect. Okay, cool. So then, this, as you can tell, this entire directory is completely empty, and so we'll initialize it with Node.js npm init -y. We'll do like the default things, and then what we want to create is, oh, actually, we want to install npm install webs. All right. Install it, and installs the library, and then we'll create an index.js, which will be the application that we run. And here we'll say, all right, we want to pull in webs like this. Maybe we'll create an API in there at like, what is, hey, Brian, what's your favorite color?
My favorite color is blue, but let's go for purple.
Ooh, okay, purple. So what I'll do is I'll have this actually return. So this API is basically just going to return the color purple as a JSON object. And then we're going to run this on, let's see, 443, right? Well, that's kind of like the default for SSL or HTTPS. It can be on any other port, but basically that's all it has to be on. And then, I need to look at this. Okay, so the domain, I set it as, I'm just going to copy paste it. That'll be much easier. Oh, bam. Where's my paste? Oh, okay. All right. Let's do it the manual way. All right. My domain is going to be Snyk test. I think I actually have both of them set up, so I could use like sneak test or sneak demo that and Instafluff.tv or whatever. But sneak test that Instafluff.tv should work, and then I'll set my email address to be this is the email address where if your what is it, the certificate's about to expire, they'll message you and be like, hey, this is a reminder, your certificate's about to expire in like 10 days or 14 days, so you should probably renew it. But if you have it set up with this, then it won't matter. So now we do that, and then I need to run it. Oh, there's actually another thing that you have to do if you're running on like Linux or something. Then, for instance, here on my Bitnami instance, I'm gonna have to do is stop Apache because it overrides the, okay, there it goes, because it overrides the port 80, and port 80 will need to be open for this to do the whole like three-way handshake thing with Let's Encrypt servers. But now that that's done, I should be able to run it. I think I need to have the sudo access so that it can open port 80. Once it does that, then it should pull in the SSL certificate and everything. There it goes. Okay, so what this doesn't show here on the, I should have done the debug option, because then it actually shows you everything. There's also like a test, so that if you just want to like try and getting the certificate to make sure it works, or if you want to do all this other stuff. But okay, so what this means is we should have it ready. Let's see, sneaktest.instafluff.tv. And all right, so then the API, I think we had it as color, right? As a JSON object. This is Brian's favorite color. Well, for now, is purple. And you can tell that our connection is secure and our certificate is valid. We did that, what, in like 10 minutes? That's super easy, right? Like we have it and it lasts for three months, 90 days. And we don't have to worry about it because as long as the server is running, it'll auto check and know that the certificate's about to expire, and then it'll do the thing in the background. And so that's really pretty much it, which is pretty cool. If I can show you something else that I can do. So the way that Web of Webs works is it looks inside these preset or like kind of preferred directories for files, so it can be like public or web, but you can also have your HTML files at the top, like here. So we'll create an index.html that'll say, all right, and then title will be welcome to Snyk the Big Fix. And then let's see. And we'll create a body that has the text that says, tweet the big fix that now you have secure HTTPS Node.js server. And you can tag me too at Instafluff TV. Aha. Okay. There we go. And then the body. Oops. Close that and close the HTML. And okay, that's like a super simple HTML file, right? So now if we go back and we run the server, then it's basically we just have the server and then we run it and we should see, there it is. So essentially you can create a web server. This will pull in all of the SSL certificates for you. So you don't have to worry about or manage all of that. But now you can create a Node.js server that runs securely, has certificates so that all of your clients or your customers or your friends or family, whoever connects to your web server, can now not worry about having their passwords leaked or hacked or anything like that. And so that's pretty much it. But yeah, I guess we should maybe get some questions, right? It's like HTTPS on the back end is like it's I guess it does a whole bunch of stuff like the certificate authority or CAs are the ones that are these like trusted authorities that say, hey, this certificate is valid because we issued it to a valid server or to a valid client that's setting up the server, and we know their email address, and we know that that's actually the IP address or the server address that it's supposed to go to. So this is secure. That's kind of how HTTPS works. And then it does the encryption and everything. But now we don't have to worry about all of that. It makes it much easier. So yeah. So what do you think? Do you think you'd like
I'm
Node.js and HTTPS?
I'm amazed that it's so easy. As in,
Oh yeah.
why not do it? That's the other thing. Like, there's no
Right?
reason not to do it, right?
Yeah, like Let's Encrypt really made it easier for us because now we don't have to pay upfront. Like it used to cost, I think like $100 or something to get an SSL certificate, like, and you'd have to pay it every year. And this changed the whole game on that and said, hey, like every website should really be secure on the internet. And so why not do something like that? And then now if it's much easier to set it up on every one of our apps,
Yeah.
then it's like, why not? We gotta do it.
But how do you think about like this is of course when it's on the internet, I totally get it.
Mhm.
But some people even advocate nowadays for even if you're tested on your local machine, make sure there's a certificate with
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah. So, like even if you have your like home server or like you're doing like local tests and then you want to share it out with people, I've used this exact same system to have my friends connect where I'm like, hey, I'm running this local server and I'm testing a game and do you want to connect and try it out? And then I'll send them the actual URL link because they can't connect to localhost, right? They have to be on the same network. But then instead of having it just be like HTTP whatever, now we can have this, and any of our local projects that we want to share out to people, that can also be secure. I think that's pretty important.
Yeah, I think and that it's like if you set it up once on once a server, as long as the server is running, it automatically
Yep.
refreshes or gets a new certificate. I mean, that is
Yeah.
currently a painful thing. Like every 3 months, you get pinged, and I need to do it again.
Oh
What was
yeah.
the command? What was the command again? And to set it up like this, normally I would say
Yep.
one of my providers or my internet provider or my web provider takes care of that or has something in their
Mhm.
admin console to do that for me. However, if you are self-hosting things like this, this is an
Oh
excellent
yeah.
So, do you have the GitHub repository for me so I can chat it out?
Oh yeah.
Actually,
So this is the GitHub repository for Web of Webs. So this handles a bunch of other things on top of it. So like, it's meant to be a super lightweight thing. That's kind of like an alternative for Express.js. You don't have to like worry about a lot of different dependencies, which also then means that like your projects, if you know exactly what dependencies you have, it is also going to be much more secure, right? Because then you don't have to worry about so many other random dependencies becoming outdated or deprecated. And so that helps too. But this is without the S is the original project, where if you do have your own certificate, you can also use that. So you can say like, here's my certificate, my private key, and the chain, and then you just pass it in as the parameter. And so they work pretty similarly.
okay,
And
cool.
I guess one of the other things I can show is where the actual certificate goes. So like if you're generally, if you're trying to get a Let's Encrypt certificate and you don't need to use this library specifically, but you just want to get a certificate, then you could even just have this running as a side thing so that you'll have the cert, the chain, the private key directly like downloaded to the local um, directory folder.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you can host your actual like other app and just reference this, and then you're set. So that's another way you could use this is just like, hey, like I don't want to figure out how to do all the things or like do like cert bot and renew or whatever. This will keep
Yeah, because
doing that for
normally
me.
I would use certbot on my local machine to automate a few things, get a new certificate, like switch out the certificates like that, and this is super easy.
Yeah, you just define the domain and email. That's it.
Yeah, folks, I know there's a lot going on in the chat, but I missed out on the question lining, so I tried to eat something in the middle. I'm sorry for that. So if you
Ooh,
have any
no.
questions, feel free to put them again in the chat, or specifically like what do you want to know from Raphael / Instafluff. If you have any questions, feel free to put them in. In the meantime, I just posted the webs.
Oh wow, thank you for doing that.
URL in the both in the Twitch and in the YouTube comments, so you can actually click on it, hopefully, and you can actually go there. And yeah, well, you can deduct the S yourself if you want to have the original version. That's not that difficult, I guess.
Yeah.
Anyway, in the meantime, I want to thank you. I appreciate that you're doing this. I'm amazed that you just set it up like this instantly.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm a big proponent of just like having libraries that are dead simple, and even if you have to make a couple of different assumptions and then make it flexible for people to be able to change it, I think that's kind of like a principle for me for in terms of design for any sort of software. Is like, what's the 80% scenario, and can we optimize for that, and then make it easier for the rest, like the remaining 20%, to be able to customize it to fit their use case. And so if we can do that for all software, I think that also makes it a little more secure and easier to use. And so that's
Yeah.
kind of like my philosophy. Maybe more people can adopt it and make software better for everyone.
Well, I think that is the key of being secure in general. If it's easy to implement or
Yeah.
easy to do, and not such a burden as you have to create a ton of YAML files or something like that before you're
Oh yeah.
actually before you actually have the right configuration, then
Mhm.
it's a good thing. So yeah, I love your philosophy and the way you're doing this. Like, hey, if it's not there, let's create it and publish it to the greater world, that they can actually use it. That for the rest of the world, it's easier. There came
Yeah.
one question came in
My question.
from Robert. Like,
Mhm.
do you use Angirock to share a URL that points to your local or something else?
I usually generally just share the actual URL, like, because I'll have it set up like most of my domains are just like on whatever registrar, and then I just point it to my local machine, or I'll have to set up like my router to route port 80 or port 8080 to my local computer. But even then, like this will support it. If I'd set it up to not run on 443, but instead of like port 8080, which I think I I could do that right now. Let's see. Let's edit this real quick. Then, oh wait, that's the wrong folder. No.
No worries, no
All
worries, no
right,
worries.
wrong file. All right. So let's say I ran this at port 8080, then it should still work. So this will be a live demo that we'll see whether or not it really works. See. Guys, I had to remember whether or not I had port 8080 open on my Lightsail. I think yeah, I did. And so you can tell that it's still secure using the same certificate, but now it's on port 8080, and that means that the regular one is down because there's nothing running on there. And so
Right.
yeah.
All right, amazing.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah,
you so.
the one of the yeah.
No. Go
Sorry.
ahead. I
Yeah.
mean, I was assuming you're
Oh,
ready. If you have more, I mean, we've got
oh yeah,
plenty of
I
time.
think I saw a question earlier about like what's kind of the use case for this. We talked a little
This,
bit about it, but yeah, one of the things that
yeah,
I
I'm gonna
work
hear
on just in
this
my
one.
free time is like I build games that generally run on a browser or like in like a browser source. And so like I have like a game studio called Pixel Plush where we develop like random games and it's like mini games. And so oftentimes we have to share that browser source for other people to test it. And yeah, being able to share it with HTTPS is for me like that's much easier and better. And it keeps both not just my computer, but also other people's computers secure. And so yeah, that's a big use case for me.
And I think that makes sense. That makes a lot of sense, actually. So I hope that answers the question. And for now, I hope I don't have any more questions in for this time. So
Cool.
again,
Okay. Well, if anybody
thank you.
has any questions at all, you can find me on Twitter or on Twitch as Instafluff
Yeah,
or
let's put your Twitch channel in so
oh
that people can let
oh
me.
oh yeah, it's just twitch.tv
It's
slash Instafluff.
Twitch. Yeah, I know, but like working with
Oh
multiple screens and not doing this like all the time, I am not
oh.
always. I think it's Instafluff. Like,
Yeah, hopefully this was valuable to people. Just try it out if you have any questions, or if you're looking to do like pull requests. I know like for open source, that's a very helpful thing. So feel free to make pull requests or make other code changes. And
so I put it up here. So
oh
whenever you
wow, yeah,
stream,
thank you so much.
yeah, you probably get a few subscribers now, hopefully, and
Wow.
I love it. All right, thank you so much,
Wow.
and
Oh, thank you for having me.
absolutely.
Yeah.
I love that we touched this topic as well, because this is something that is so obvious, but not everybody does this the right way or does it at all. So thank you.
Yeah. Wow. And this is really cool. I love this event. Like I've been kind of watching it on YouTube, and then I realized like it's also on Twitch, and so I've been
Yeah,
just having the Twitch channel on all day, and yeah, it's been really knowledgeable. And I learned like more about Kubernetes. Like I've been working with that a little bit, but
I'm
yeah,
still
that's
I'm
so
still
cool.
struggling with Kubernetes, but Matt,
Mhm.
the one that was explaining it, knows that I'm struggling with that. So that's why that's why we try to cover the topic. As in, it for me, it's a learning session right away. Just
Yeah,
watching
that's
these things.
fantastic. Oh yeah. Yeah, well, watching all of this, like I learned so much. So I encourage everyone to also just watch it. Oh, do you know if like this will be available as a VOD for other people to watch later as well? Because I
Yep,
know
absolutely.
like some of my friends are like not in this time zone, and so they're like,
Absolutely.
oh, I
I
want to
mean,
watch.
we're currently that's why we publish to both Twitch and
Ah,
YouTube. And YouTube,
oh, great.
it gets automatically recorded, so at least we have the full stream on, and we probably will cut
Ah,
it in pieces as well, so that we actually can see for specific speakers or specific guests that were on the stream, that they have their own well,
wow.
tiny VOD. So, but
Oh,
definitely,
okay.
you can look at it afterwards. And I know that the folks will also create highlights in Twitch from this 24-hour stream.
Cool. Well, so if anyone's watching out at, like after the event, remember you can still tweet the big fix. Yeah. And
Absolutely.
tag,
And
was it Sneak Sec, right? Is that
the
at
the
security?
things you have to learn, and then I have to always, like, if I have too many banners now, is that if you tweet, make
Yeah.
sure that it's
There it
hashtag
is.
the big fix and at SneakSec, that you end up
Awesome.
when you you're eligible for to get into the raffle circuit, and well, every hour or so, or every 2 hours, we will pick a new winner for that.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for having me on here.
Thank you for being here. It's amazing. All right, and
All
enjoy
right.
the rest of your day, man. Cheers.
You too. Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.